Not Chris coming in the 11th hour and being, ugh. Something told me not to root for that man. Remember I told y'all heard me tell Chris, don't embarrass me. And then here we are. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Tammy. This is Tammy Talks. Love is Blind Season 5, The Reunion. We are finally done. We are finally done with this season, y'all. Okay? Let's raise our glass. Let's take a sip. 1, for the season being over. 2, for Vanessa not asking a person if they were going to have Love is Blind babies. That is growth. Growth, Vanessa, okay? We're here for it, sis. So let's talk this season, y'all, before we get started. If you are brand new to the channel or a returning viewer that is not yet subscribed, I hope this is the channel that changes your mind and convinces you to come over and join the family. Those of you that have been rocking with me all season, I appreciate you. I love you. Thank you so much for all the support. We are at 18,000 strong here, 18,000 plus strong over here on the channel. So I appreciate y'all, from the subs to the likes to the comments to the Instagram messages y'all are sending me. To those of you that have found me on Twitter and send me tweets, okay? I appreciate all of it. Let's talk the reunion. So, don't forget, I do Married at First Sight as well. So if you guys like Love is Blind, you guys know that Married at First Sight is the sister show that airs on Lifetime. New season starts this Wednesday. I will be here every Wednesday night so we can talk about it. All right? But let's go ahead and get into this show, y'all. So we start off with Milton. His hair was very juicy. I didn't like it. It's giving Billy Ocean. It's giving, Black Michael Jackson. It's giving it's giving Big Luther. I didn't like it. I didn't like his hair. It's too wet. I don't understand why Milton can't just, you can have your curls, sir. I don't understand why Milton can't just taper that up. Nonetheless, on the contrast, Lydia looks good with that dark hair. I enjoyed it. I liked her dark hair. So we find out that Lydia and Milton are still married. Kudos to them. They are going, I think it's been about, a year and a half, maybe 2 years since this season has actually wrapped filming. Because I believe it was filmed concurrently with season 4. I could be wrong about that, but they're still married. Lydia and Milton's mom, I should say, get along great. So they go out alone to grab dinner and they hang out, and Milton feels that Lydia has softened up his parents. So a lot of you guys were saying how Milton's parents seem cold and very calculated and all that type of stuff. And I guess Lydia coming into the fold because she is so emotional and her family is a little more, I don't want to say nurturing, but her family is a little more in tune with their emotions and, probably displaying that in a different manner than Milton is used to growing up. It softened up his parents a lot, which is good. They had another wedding celebration down in Puerto Rico, which looked really nice. They seem happy together, so kudos to them. Nick and Vanessa gave them like a rock. I think it looked like an amethyst. I could be wrong, but they gave them a rock as a wedding present. I'm so sick of Nick and Vanessa talking about we weren't invited to the wedding. Would y'all have come? I can't wait for the day that somebody from this show has another ceremony, with more of their family and stuff there, and they invite Nick and Vanessa so we can see if they are actually going to show up. Because I don't think that they would actually go. Could just be me, but I don't think they would actually show up. So we then talk Stacy and Izzy. They look good. Izzy looked like he lost a little bit of weight, but Stacy, girl, I don't know if you had the same makeup artist, if you did your own makeup, if somebody else did it, but this is the look that you should be having on a day-to-day. Okay? Very simple, very natural. You got to move away from that orange blush because you don't know how to do it. So y'all were in the comments saying that she's a makeup artist, and I would like some type of confirmation about that. Y'all cannot be telling me the truth. Y'all can't be. I refuse to believe that this lady is really a makeup artist. But hey. What do I know, right? So obviously they are not together. Stacy's dress was distracting. It was ill-fitting. Let me put it back on the screen. It didn't fit up here because she don't have the proper cleavage to even have on a dress like that. It just, girl, that wasn't for you. That wasn't for her. But overall, they both look great. So Stacy said that the wedding was heartbreaking and she wanted to give him a yes, but in her gut, she knew that they were not ready. I agree. Could they have dated for a little bit afterwards and maybe got to that point? Sure. But I feel like if you're at the altar and you do not feel in your gut that this is the right move, then it's not the right move. That's how I feel about it. So Nick asked Izzy why he waited so long to talk about finances. Izzy said he didn't think his finances would be a big deal. I am still calling bullshit on that. I am. You told your finances to everybody else, right? So he said that they didn't talk about anything like that in the pods, so he just never brought it up. That's a fact too. That's facts. Y'all said that I'm not giving Stacy enough. Here it is. We know that Stacy went into the pods wanting to appeal, wanting to come across as the carefree, fun girl, right? We knew that she had her stuff together. But she also didn't want to have any deep talks about anything. Y'all think that that's manipulation? I don't know how. I feel like that's on Izzy for even picking a woman that didn't want to go deep. Nonetheless, Stacy, this is your fault too. You should have talked about them finances inside the pods. It should have come up at some point. At some point, I don't know, like, you don't have to talk about your credit score, but at some point in the pods, y'all should have had more serious conversations, right? So Izzy said that he doesn't have any debt, just bad credit. So Nick and Vanessa are asking him, why didn't you ever bring that up? Like, what? Because Izzy kept saying there was just never the right moment. He wanted to talk about it when they had a moment alone. It was always just y'all. Y'all had tons of moments alone. Y'all had 3 weeks worth of alone time, right? So Izzy is saying that he just never felt like it was the right time to talk about his credit score. I'm going to be real with y'all. Izzy knew that he had bad credit, and I think after hearing how put together, whether y'all think that she earned it or not, hearing how put together Stacy's life was, he was intimidated by his credit score. Does that mean that Stacy made him intimidated? No. What I've noticed in reading the comments is that a lot of people are projecting, right? One of the biggest, and I'm not even talking about materialism, anything like that is subjective. I'm talking about there's a number of people that have said in the comments that you guys were dating people that made more money than you or whose families were rich, and you guys felt intimidated. You guys felt like you were looked down upon, and you felt like you weren't worthy. I'm gonna be real with y'all. Could some of that have come from those people? Absolutely. But it honestly seems the way y'all are describing this, a lot of this really just falls on you. Right? Nobody can make you feel inferior to somebody but yourself. I can stand in a room with millionaires. I'm not going to feel inferior because I'm secure within myself and within my financial stability. Izzy was not. Izzy's not comfortable with his credit score. Izzy's not comfortable with his financial stability. Izzy is not. So the fact that Stacy's family is more put together, the fact that Stacy's family has more money, the fact that Stacy seemed to be more financially secure and stable, that intimidated him. It's nothing that she's doing. It's, in my opinion, y'all, it's nothing that she's doing. I'm not stating my opinion as fact. I'm just stating my opinion on my channel through my commentary, right? So he never felt that it was a good time to talk about his credit score. I call bull on that. I do. So after the wedding, they took time away from each other. He said that it was hard for him. She was his person. After 3 or 4 days, he needed her, wanted to talk to her. They went out to dinner, right? They met up, went out to dinner. They went because he didn't know if they were still together, whether you still engaged, any of that type of stuff. Why were you confused, Izzy? We heard Stacey. We watched Stacey. It's on film. Say that she wanted to keep going. You didn't want to. You did not want to. So why are you confused because you were drunk? You were clearly drunk. And I wish they would have addressed that. Do I think that he's an alcoholic? No. I don't. But I think that Izzy has these moments where he gets drunk, he says and does whatever it is that he wants, whatever it is on his heart, is on his spirit, and then he's confused about something later. Y'all were in the comments once again saying that he has a right to say whatever he wants because he was hurt. You can say whatever you want, right? You can say whatever you want. That's perfectly fine, but that does not absolve you from taking accountability for what you said. So many men were fighting and scratching and clawing to defend Izzy in the comments for saying, well, Stacey is 33 and single and unmarried. Stacey was 33 and single and unmarried when Izzy proposed to her, and he still wanted her ass. He still wanted her up until 20 minutes before that. So that's not a plausible argument. He said that to try to be petty, but then you still went right back to her 33 single unmarried ass. So what does that say about Izzy? We have to learn to call a spade a spade. Is Stacey perfect? No, absolutely not. Does Stacey have high standards? Yes. Should she lower her standards? No. Izzy has standards on how he wants to be loved, right? He says it all the time. Should Izzy lower his standards on how he wants to be loved? No. But at the end of the day, he made a petty remark, trying to be hurtful, trying to be funny because he was drunk, to turn around and then want to be with her ass literally 3 days later. So they met up for dinner, or for drinks. They went back to her house. They were talking. He said it didn't feel right. Stacey said she wasn't feeling it. She wasn't feeling it. He got mad at her because she didn't want to be with him anymore, which I kind of feel like. So she said that she wanted to start all the way over from scratch. He didn't want to go backwards. So he didn't want to start all the way over from scratch. I'm going to say it, quiet as it's kept, loud as it's known. I think Izzy wanted to move into that house right away and start, pick up as if they were married. Stacey probably wanted to start all the way over from scratch from the beginning and get to start dating and getting to know each other. He didn't want to do that. He got mad at her and didn't talk to her for a year. He acknowledged that was true. He literally said, yes, that's true. So he didn't really want to. I'm so happy this season is over. So we then get these two. Okay? Nose itches. We then get these two. Johnny and Chris. They are not together anymore. What a shock. Raise your hand if you're shocked. So they are not together anymore. So after the party that we saw, where everybody was fighting with everybody, it was Johnny's birthday that weekend. Chris left, went to a wedding out of state. She did not talk to him. He did not communicate with her. He came back. He did not communicate with her. She then found out the next week, 2 weeks later, that he was dating somebody else. And I said, I know you fucking lying. So he's dating someone else. Didn't tell her that they were done, just started dating someone else. And the way that Chris casually was like, yep, sure did. What? What? So that was like, I did not expect that from Chris. So Chris said that he just didn't handle the situation properly. He is still with that person and they are now living together. He said this experience was for us to come in, figure out things about ourselves, figure out who we want to date. Chris, no, baby. No, sweetheart. No. Well, could be experiments. This experience is not designed for you to come, get with somebody, see that, okay, this is what I do and don't want in a person, and then ghost their ass and start dating another person. How disgusting is that? How disgusting is that? And the way that Chris sat there with a straight face, as if nothing happened, as if this is normal, as if, well, you know, what happened, and that's okay. What? So I felt bad for Johnny. Nobody deserves to have that happen to them. Absolutely nobody. So Chris apologizes for hurting her, but said he wouldn't change anything. I said, ooh. Wow, wowza. So Chris, we get on the conversation of the party where Izzy and Stacy and Johnny and Chris all had their kerfluffle. Okay. So they were asking Chris, why did you defend her if you were going, do whatever you was doing anyways? He said that he is always going to defend somebody that he loves, and at that time he loved her. Vanessa said, so will you cheat on those that you love? And he said yes. Said yes with a straight face. Didn't blink, didn't think about it. Said yes with a straight face, y'all. Wow. Wowzer. So Vanessa asked, how did Johnny find out? Johnny said that a friend of hers was out and saw him at a bar with another woman. Johnny is dating someone. She's been dating that person for about a year. So here's the thing. Everybody that did not get married is dating someone else on this show. Which is why whenever y'all get in the comments and say that this person's never gonna find somebody and blah, 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 that's not the case. Everybody on this show always ends up dating someone else. It's no one is gonna be just asked out because they didn't get married. So Nick brings up the tension between Johnny and Stacy, and where did this come from? Stacy said the other girls were telling her what Johnny was saying about her. Stacy said that the stares and the comments got her activated. I'm a bottle of Coke and then you shake it up and I'm gonna pop the top. Girl, that fell flat. That I didn't like that reference at all. So, but ultimately she said they just aren't each other's cup of tea, and they just aren't. Right? So Vanessa calls out Johnny because the entire time Johnny and Chris are talking. And see, this is what I be talking about with Johnny, y'all. You try to be on her side and you try to see everything from both sides, but then she does disrespectful, childish stuff like this. So Vanessa was like, what are y'all talking about? And Johnny was like, oh, we're just catching up. No, y'all were talking. Johnny said they were just catching up. So Vanessa is like, do you agree with what Stacy said? And she's like, oh, yeah, I guess. Yeah, I said things that were petty. I didn't handle it right. And the thing that gets me is like, Johnny, you knew that you said this stuff. I just kind of feel like all Johnny had to say was, I felt the way about what I said, and you know what? You're right. I was wrong. But Johnny has not denied talking crap about Stacy to the other women. Y'all were in the comments saying that she never did that. She's never denied it either. She has been denying everything else. She has not denied that. So she takes accountability for handling the situation wrong, for being petty. So she then said that. Then she starts saying that Stacy was outside talking about her to Chris. And like I told y'all, she came out there loud and wrong because Stacey wasn't saying anything. It was Chris and Izzy. So they're going back and forth, and Johnny is like, no, you guys were outside talking about me. Stacey said, I did not say a word until you got out there. I didn't. Johnny is like, well, that's your perception. Girl, it's the perception that's on film. It's on film. We have what's on film. So they roll the tape, and it is partially the way Stacey describes it. Everybody was wrong in that situation. I still feel like Johnny got everything heightened when she came out and was like, you guys are lying. I feel like she did get things heightened. That's me. That's my opinion. So Izzy apologizes for his delivery. He already apologized last year, but he apologized for his delivery. Said that's out of character for him because that's drunk Izzy. Got it. So he said that was just drunk Izzy. That's not really me. He said, but he stands on what he said. It was just his delivery. So Johnny was like, well, Izzy did apologize. Others haven't. I don't know if she thought Stacey was going to apologize, but the way Stacey was like, I think she thought Stacey was going to apologize and Stacey wasn't. So let's move on from this. We find out that Izzy and Johnny were out at a bar. Get into this, y'all. They were out at a bar and with a bunch of cast members. They talked for an hour at the bar to see if maybe they can get this going again. Now, this was 1 week after it did not work with Stacey and Izzy, okay? 1 week after he was mad at Stacey because she wanted to try to make it work last week, but you didn't want to, and now this week that you want to and she doesn't want to, now you're mad. He's so distraught, so hurt. So hurt, y'all. Y'all said in the comments he was hurt and painful and everything, and he just couldn't take life. He skipped his ass on over to Johnny at the bar, and they were kissing in his Jeep. That's how hurt he was over Stacey. Not even 2 weeks later. That's how hurt he was. He just lost the love of his life at the altar, y'all. She embarrassed him and said no. But now, it's okay because, the best way to get over somebody is getting under the necks, right? I'm telling you, the way that y'all be going hard about what y'all think these people are feeling and how in love and stuff they were. Izzy was so heartbroken at the altar that he just couldn't wait to go try to get with Johnny. Okay. Stacey says she knew about it because a friend of hers told her about it. They never hooked up, but they did kiss. Nick, a weird ass, gonna say maybe I should go to the Houston bars. What do Nick and Vanessa be thinking? Like, who you trying to see at the Houston bar? Jessica? Shit. Where Jessica Simpson live at? My God. So then we get Aaliyah serving face and body, okay? Aaliyah came in reminding y'all who the F she was. So Aaliyah came out, and I didn't get a screenshot, but Lydia's energy was off. It wasn't me. Lydia's energy was off the entire time Aaliyah was on stage. It was almost like Lydia wanted or expected Aaliyah to come out and go in on her. It was like she was ready to get into a back and forth. It was weird. It was very weird. So they showed the clip of all Lydia's very questionable, inappropriate moments with Aaliyah about Uche. That moment where she was in his favorite drink, his favorite car, and he does this and that, still very cringe, still very uncomfortable to watch. Lydia said, looking back, it's hurtful, said that she wanted Aaliyah to have a happy ending. She just didn't read the room completely. Lydia said that she did the best she could with the information that she had. Aaliyah feels cheated, feels that she did not get the genuine Love is Blind experience, and I agree. She said that she set boundaries in place with Lydia. Lydia ignored those boundaries. She didn't respect them, and she felt that moving forward, Lydia would continue to disrespect her boundaries. So Lydia didn't say anything. She just sat there like she had an attitude. It was almost like Lydia was mad that she was being called out. You know what I mean? So Nick brings up the fact that production wanted to send them home, and everybody on stage agrees they should have stayed. I stand on the fact that Lydia and Uche were there and knew each other, and that was their very first date, they should have sent their asses home. They should have sent them home. Because I just feel like it did taint the experience, and Aaliyah got caught, and it tainted Aaliyah's experience. So everybody that was like, well, Milton to give his example, Milton didn't go through the same thing. He didn't go through the same thing. Uche asking him a couple questions about it in the pods is not the same thing as the way that Lydia was going and talking about Uche to Aaliyah. Complete different scenario. I think that it tainted the process. I just feel like it messed things up for Aaliyah, and she got caught in the balance. But everybody else on stage, including Aaliyah, felt that they should have been able to be there. Aaliyah just feels that production should have had them tell them right away, because she would have kept her distance from Lydia. But now, Aaliyah, we got to get on you, sis, because to be honest, when you found out that Uche had been talking to Lydia, you should have distanced yourself from her then. It should have been right then that you distanced yourself from her from jump. By no means that you should have came out and been snuggling underneath the blanket with that girl, crying about, I know. Like, none of that should have happened. None of it. So Aaliyah then said that she has her own beliefs about what might have happened. She said that Lydia was going around telling the other ladies that, she's going to see someone from her past there. And she said that even when her and Lydia met up, that Lydia told her that Lydia and Uche had discussed coming on to the show. And Lydia was like, well, I never hoped to see someone. It was just a gut feeling. She said, but yeah, me and Uche both saw the casting and we discussed it briefly. And we're still going to act. We are still going to act as if they might not have done this together. We're still going to act as if somebody followed somebody else's ass on that show. Whether Lydia followed Uche or Uche followed Lydia, somebody followed somebody else on that show. I wholeheartedly believe they did have a conversation that I'm going to sign up for this show. I'm going to sign up for this show. I wholeheartedly believe that they did. I also absolutely believe that they both had each other's name listed. Or at the very least, Lydia had Uche's name listed. Production saw that, and production picked both of them, and that's why they had the very first date, to create the drama. So Milton then said that Lydia has a great character and better than his, and then he goes on to say that Uche was interestingly intrigued with his relationship with Lydia, and that's where he tries to make it seem as if he had the same experience, but he didn't. Did it affect Milton? Absolutely, not taking that away from him, but in hindsight, it's not the same thing. Milton and Aaliyah still had very, very, very different experiences, even though they were both caught in this like weird like matrix. So Aaliyah is in a relationship with somebody. She met this guy on an R&B cruise. She went by herself. He went by himself. I would never go on a cruise by myself. Oh, that is so scary to me. But they met each other, and now they are together, and, good for Aaliyah. We then get a clip of the last time that Uche saw Aaliyah and Lydia. So we find out that Milton and Lydia had a safe word. So he knew that they were going to go into this experience seeing Uche or probably seeing Aaliyah. So they had safe words. So when Milton came and sat down and he opened his phone and held it up towards her and said, "We have dinner reservations," that was him holding up what's this here coming from? That was him holding up their safe word emoji, which was like the, what did it say, the oil barrel or something. So that was him holding up the oil barrel, and that was just her way of being like, yep, save me from, or get me out of this situation. So Aaliyah did date Uche briefly after filming. She said that she didn't get the Uche from the pods. She got barbecue Uche. Quiet as it's kept, loud as it's known. Barbecue Uche is Uche from the pods. Because the same way that Uche ran through you and said that you're a recent cheater and went through you and badgered you like a hostile witness, it's the same person he was at the barbecue. They're the same person. It's just that you knew what he was about, by the time you started the show. They were the same person, though. Very same person. So Uche declined not to come. I think that's bullshit. It should be in that contract that if you appear on the show, you bring your ass to the reunion. Too many people are getting cop-outs the past couple seasons. Jackie and Josh started something last year by not coming. Prior seasons to that, I can't remember anybody not coming to the reunion. Because sit in the hot seat and face what you did. But okay. So we then find out that Uche be texting these people. So Uche texts Milton from time to time. Milton said, I don't respond. Milton said, look, y'all, these are not my friends. These are not my peers. These are people that I was in the experiment with. They ain't gonna be sharing beds with nobody on the trip or sharing rooms. So Izzy said that Uche was talking shit about him to all the girls, so he don't like Uche no more. Lydia said Uche texted her the night that the show airs, so I'm gonna watch the show. If there's anything you want to discuss, I'm here. Aaliyah said, I got the same text. Lydia seemed almost salty about that. Did y'all see Lydia's face? Let me know. When Aaliyah said, oh, I got that text too, Lydia's energy changed. It was almost like, oh, I didn't get a special message. And I'm not saying that Lydia wants Uche. I think Lydia is very happy with Milton. But I think that there's still that, I can't explain it, but I think it's still something with Lydia that it might be, oh, he sent her the same kind of text as me type deal. That's what I got from that. Which was weird. And then Milton said that Uche texted him on the wedding day and was like, hey man, heard you got married, want to talk about it. Nigga, get... Bye, Uche. You didn't want to come to the reunion. Don't bring your mushroom head, broccoli head type self. Don't come to the after the altar. I do not want to see Uche or JP at after the altar. So then finally we get to Sugar and Sugar Butt. I didn't get Sugar Butt, or was he Sugar? I didn't get Sugar Butt's picture, but y'all know he had on a blue suit with a red handkerchief and then, American flag socks. But Taylor said, you don't like makeup? Full face, honey. Full glam. And she looks nice. She looks nice. Is this not how her makeup looked? I don't remember her at the reveal. Y'all were saying her makeup was caked up at the reveal. I truly don't remember it. Honestly don't. So Sugar and Sugar Butt come out. They're on different sides. And JP said that it was hard to go through because we see their package. Hard to go through, harder to watch. He said he should have done more. He didn't know he would be so nervous. He was like, what are we supposed to do? There's cameras here. Talk, fool. Talk. Don't be a mute. Talk. Open them little bitty lips and talk. It's not hard. He's acting as if they were supposed to perform the whole time. You wouldn't even talk about the weather with Taylor. So Taylor said, well, what about when the cameras were gone? JP said, well, what are we supposed to do? Talk! So then he tries to put the, well, you didn't want to be there anyways. Let's keep it a buck, y'all. JP did not find Taylor attractive. And instead, he didn't find Taylor attractive, right? That's really what it came down to. And because he didn't find Taylor attractive, he didn't want to talk to her. I feel like he wanted to push her away. So Taylor says that she tried and said that there were a lot of tears watching his back because it was just hard to watch. He felt that she was hounding him, and that's not the way to get him to open up. Now, y'all were saying that in the comments, and looking back, I do agree. Okay? I do agree. I can be wrong. I agree. However, I don't see anything wrong with the hounding. I think it was the way that she did it. Like, you can't keep saying this is awkward, you got to talk, this is awkward, you got to talk. She should have just found more ways to try to pull conversation out of him, and she didn't. And I think that was like the biggest, issue, faux pas. So she thinks that he was never attracted to her. She said that he gave her zero validation and he belittled her and made her feel like she was less than. He apologizes and he thought he was just letting her know she's beautiful without makeup. I'm not going to get back into this, but JP, you couldn't have thought that's how you were saying it. Because here's the thing, there are a lot of men that don't like makeup. And whenever women say, like I've said in my video, we don't wear makeup for men. By no means, at no point am I ever putting on makeup and saying, who y'all this time for foundation gonna kill the guys at work. Wait till I put on this MAC. Wait till I put on this MAC. This is gonna kill the guys. Oh my God, I got a new mascara. The guys are gonna love this one. I hope these guys notice the new eyeliner I have on. No. Women are not putting on makeup for men to try to impress men. They're not. Women wear makeup because they want to wear makeup. I know all the men, because it's all the men that just can't understand why. Y'all show how misogynistic y'all are in the comments every time y'all type something. But by all means, that's how you feel. That's how you feel. But by no means, you can't think saying, I think you're fake with makeup is telling her that she's pretty without it. You couldn't have thought that. Why is it so hard to say, oh my God, you are really beautiful without your makeup? That's literally all you had to say, JP. And she might have took the hint, but she didn't have on makeup anyways during the trip. Whatever. He's just weird. He's weird. So she forgives him and then tells him, learn from this. Don't do this to another woman, okay? Vanessa pointed out that Taylor said something about his gap and asked did his gap have any bearing on anything, and Taylor said no, okay? She said it didn't. She was willing to work through the gap. I mean, the gap is not a big deal. His gap isn't even that big. Gaps are not a big deal. Most people, as they get older, they develop a gap anyways. Their teeth start to shift and whatnot. Some of y'all be missing that side tooth and y'all gonna get a gap anyways. So Vanessa, Vanessa. So Vanessa starts asking JP, well, are you attracted to her? Why don't you like about her? If she look like the other girls she date, would you go up to her in the bar? And it's like, Vanessa, whenever you think, like, we were going to give Vanessa kudos tonight. I hate when she does this. She did this last season too with, who was it? Damn, I can't remember. But she did this last season with the whole, so you're just not attracted to her, but why? So do you like this person? Why? Why do we have to hear why he does not like her? He's not attracted to her. We don't have to break down why he's not. This is the second year you have done this, Vanessa. She then turns it to Taylor, and Taylor, and I'm just like, okay. JP also pointed out that he thinks that makeup is fake. He thought it was off-putting when he first saw her. I said, so he just never liked her. He saw that she wore foundation. He didn't like her. I want to see how his girlfriend look. How's his girlfriend look? Because he has been dating this girl, he said, for the past year. Taylor is not official with anybody, but she's dating. JP said that if Taylor would have just stopped hounding him to talk. No, I'm sorry. Taylor said if JP would have told her, Taylor said if JP would have told her to stop hounding him, she would have. He would say, I'm sorry I didn't communicate that to you. Okay. I think it's a missed opportunity that we didn't talk about Renee and Carter. I think that should have been addressed. They were couples. I don't know if it's the fact that Love is Blind felt a way that she duped them, that they didn't fulfill the vetting process correctly, but I think that that should have been shown. I think that that should have been shown. Then at the end, they do this like game where they pick who they would have wanted to date. Somebody was playing at my door, so I didn't pay attention. And then they do like a song thing, and I think like what song summarizes your experience. Stacy said, "My love don't cost a thing, aside from dinner." Aside from dinner, because y'all about to tear her up in the comments for that. Um, Milton was 99 Problems. Aaliyah's was Thank You Next. I think Taylor's was Silent Night. Somebody said Houston, Atlanta, Vegas, which, okay. But let me know what you guys thought about this season down below. Speak now, forever hold your peace. If you have not already subscribed to the channel, you guys, thumbs up the video. And hopefully I will catch you guys in another video coming up soon. Peace.